All right, on to the markets now. Everybody, well, a lot of people talking about Dow 16,000 today, but more broadly, the Fed keeps printing, investors keep investing. These numbers are from TrimTab, showing $34 billion went into equity mutual funds in the past 4 weeks. It's actually the largest 4-week total since January.
Is that a dumb idea, what these people are doing with their money? Jim Rogers will tell you, chairman of Rogers Holdings, author of Street Smarts, Adventures on the Road and in the Markets. Jim, welcome from Asia.
Yes, I'm delighted. I have jet lag. I may fall asleep on the set.
No, you won't, because I'll come over there and kick your butt.
Screaming at you. It's very hard. Trust me, I've tried some days.
I know. I've been here. Is it a foolish thing what they're doing? Yes, the Federal Reserve. It's insane. We're all going to be destroyed by it someday.
But it's foolish what the people are doing, too, putting their money in stocks.
Well, we'll see. We'll see in the end. It depends on how long they continue to print money. But it looks like the central banks around the world are going to continue to print money. There's nothing to stop the U.S. now. There's nothing to stop the Japanese. Everybody's doing it. So, I mean, as long as this madness is going on, play the game.
So then would you bet against what the Federal Reserve is doing? Because it seems like people are, whether you think it's right or wrong, whether you think it'll end in disaster in the long run, would you bet alongside the Fed?
Dagan, I'm not the first person to say don't fight the Fed. I mean, that's been proven many times in the past 100 years. It's not just the Fed. It's the European Central Bank, the Japanese Central Bank, the English Central Bank. It's the first time in recorded history that all major central banks are printing money as fast as they can. This has never happened. And there's nothing to stop them. The Japanese, nothing to stop them. America, nothing to stop. There's nothing to stop Congress spending. They're all going to spend.
So stocks go up.
While madness is going on, you might as well play the madness. But be aware it's madness. Be aware that you better get out before everybody else, because when it stops and this artificial sea of liquidity dries up, boy, it's going to be not very much fun.
I want to bring up one thing, because you said, when you sat down here, you said to us before you came on, there's things happening in China that are far more important, China, than anything that's happening here, than anything we've talked about so far. So China, we have a couple of minutes left.
China in 1978 had a major change. None of us noticed it, including me. Changed the world.
Right.
1993, they had another big meeting. Changed the world. None of us know. Well, just last week, they decided we're going to completely open up the economy. We're going to change 6 or 7 sectors. If you can invest in those sectors forget the Federal Reserve. Those sectors of the Chinese economy are going to boom for decades.
Okay.
The single most important thing they said was, from now on, the government's not going to make the decisions. The market's going to make the decisions.
China?
Wouldn't you like that in America? Where if anything happens, the government says, don't worry, we'll make the decision. We'll take care of health care. We'll do it for you. We can do it better than you can. Not in China. The market does it.
How do you make those investments, though, if you're an individual, not a professional investor here in the United States?
I'm an individual. There are many shares.
But you do this for a living. I'm talking about mama and daddy.
There are many shares, Chinese shares, which trade in the U.S. or trade. Your broker can call up very easily and buy you just about any Chinese share you want. There are Chinese ETFs.
Or could it be betting on some of these sectors that you talked about?
Well, I'm buying the sectors. I'm buying shares in the sectors. Right. Or you could buy ETFs. You can buy Chinese ETFs. They trade on the New York Stock Exchange. They trade all over the world. It's not very complicated in 2013 to invest just about anywhere you want to.
Around the world, asset classes, which one is most dangerous right now? Which one carries the most risk, if you could pick one?
That is such a good question. I think about maybe bonds. Bonds sometimes. I'm not short government bonds at the moment, but sometimes they'll probably rally, and then that'll be it. Right. So I'm sure I'll call you tomorrow, okay? When I think about it, when I wake up, I'll let you know.
From your satellite phone.
Could you remember to report back to us, Dagan, when Jim calls?
Well, you gave us an answer.
That's pretty funny, right? That's great for a TV guest.
Dagan, I just thought of it.
Give you a call tomorrow.
Tomorrow night when I'm sitting in the cafe.
Could you make it between 11 and noon Eastern? I don't know, because at least we'd be on the air then. So, do you like this new regime in China? Then it sounds like, which
well, so far so good. So far so good. And they're only less than a year old. It's very hard to rise to the top. In America, it's easy to get to the top. You put on a nice suit, you go on TV, and you win. In China, boy, it's very tough to rise to the top. They test you and vet you, and they make you do all sorts of things. And maybe 40 years later, you make it to the top. I wish we did it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
Thank you, Jim.
Did you like living in Asia? You live in Singapore?
Very much. I'm very pleased to be there, yes.
Okay.
My kids love it. My wife loves it. We're all very happy.
We miss you here.
Well, good to see you in New York.
Miss all of you, too.
You are tired, man.
Ending on a lie. That's not the way.
Jim, thank you so much.
All right.